the session of RPSC competitive exams. This session will help you understand the various exams under RPSC and their eligibility criteria with the fee structure of the examination. It will also give you an update regarding the examination pattern with its question form in the session itself. It will also provide you with some of the preparation tips that you can use to help prepare for these competitive exams, my dear students. I am Ayushi Bhargava, Faculty of Sociology at SRN International School, Jagatpura, Jaipur. Let's begin with the session, my dear students. Students, talking about what we are going to study in this session, it will have three parts. First one would be talking about RAS, that is Rajasthan Administrative Services. Second would be RFS, that is Rajasthan Forest Service. Third would be RJS, that is Rajasthan Judicial Services. We would end up the session with some of the helpful tips that you can use to prepare for these competitive examination, students. Now, what is RPSC, students? RPSC had a glorious past of nearly 70 years, my dear students. During 1923, the Lee Commission had recommended setting up of a Central Public Service Commission in India. But it did not give much thought to the need of establishing similar commissions in the provinces. It was left largely to the discretion of the provincial governments to recruit and exercise control over their services as they thought proper. At the thought of the formation of Rajasthan, the institution of Public Service Commission existed in only 3 of the 22 states, that is Jaipur, Jodhpur and Bikaner. Now, what does RPSC do? The RPSC Rajasthan Public Service Commission is a state-level services exam of Rajasthan. It was founded in 1950 and it covers recruitment and selection for various state government posts in departments such as Rajasthan Account Services, Rajasthan Police Services, etc. Also known as Rajasthan State and Subordinate Services Combined Competitive Exams. Students, now let's proceed with the next. Let's talk of our first services, that is RAS, Rajasthan Administrative Services. It is a state civil services of state Rajasthan along with Rajasthan Account Services, Rajasthan Police Services and other services. The officers are included in the state cadre of civil services officers. RAS officers undergo 2 years training at HCM Rajasthan State Institute of Public Administration. Cadre controlling authority for this service is Department of Personnel, Government of Rajasthan. The head of this service is Chief Secretary, my dear students. Let's talk of educational qualification. Graduate degree from a recognized university and working knowledge of Hindi written in Devanagari script and knowledge of Rajasthan culture is must. Let me tell you, students, in any of the services that are specifically for Rajasthan, knowledge of Devanagari script and knowledge of Rajasthan culture is must. The age limit is also specified. For gazetted post, it is between 21 to 40 years. For non-gazetted post, it is between 21 to 45 years. Also, a very important thing to be noted here is RPSC RAS considers only Indians. They do not allow any international aspirant to take this exam. This exam is only reserved for Indian nationality students. An RPSC RAS candidate can take the exam as many times as they want, and this is one of the major pro of taking this examination. As long as you do not cross the upper age limit, you can write the exams as many times as you want. Proceeding, what are the responsibilities of RAS? What are the duties that RAS has to fulfill? The first one is delivering various government services like conducting revenue administration, my dear students. Maintenance of law and order is also another very important duty of RAS officers. Students, they work at grassroots level of administration for policy implementation. Not just policy implementation, but their work also include policy formulation, my dear students. They help the other officers in the policy formulation of the states. Not only these, they also work in secretariat at different posts. And these posts are very important from the other perspectives. Let me tell you, students. Let's proceed. Now, what are the posts one is recruited after clearing RAS examination? There are two categories. The first one is state level services. Now, in the state level services or for the state level post, there are RAS, that is Rajasthan Administrative Services, RPS, Rajasthan Police Services, Rajasthan Account Services, Rajasthan Industry Services, Rajasthan Exercise Preventive Force, Rajasthan Exercise General Force, Rajasthan Commercial Tax Services, students. Then talking about Rajasthan Jail Services and Rajasthan Planning Services. There are some more additions to these posts. Talking about the another set of posts, that is subordinate level services and the post. These include Social Welfare Officer, District Minority Welfare Officer, Jail Welfare Officer, Rajasthan Exercise Subordinate Services, Rajasthan Temple Subordinate Services, Rajasthan Commercial Tax Subordinate Services, Rajasthan Labour Welfare Subordinate Services, Rajasthan Cooperative Subordinate Services, Rajasthan Program Officer. Again, there are some more additions to these posts. Now let's talk about the application fees for all the categories of Rajasthan Administrative Services. For general category, the application fees is 300 rupees. For OBCs, the application fees is 250 rupees. For SC and ST, the application fees is 50 rupees, my dear students. Now, the main aspect of it. What is the selection process? How does it take, students? We will be discussing one by one. Now, the selection will be done on three criteria. The first one would be the preliminary examination, my dear students. I will be talking about each of this examination in detail in the upcoming slides. Second is mains examination. After you clear both of these examinations, there will be a personal interview round. Now, today, the HCM Rajasthan State Institute of Public Administration, that is HCM RIPA. It is an apex level state administrative training institution of the government of Rajasthan for training all of its civil servants, my dear students. HCM RIPA. HCM is a state level civil training institute of the government of Rajasthan. Now, the principal objective to contribute for the improvement of state administration through training, system research and management consultancy, and to develop positive attitude and skill. Let's proceed next. Now, let's talk of the RAS prelim syllabus. The syllabus will include the current affairs, science and technology, Rajasthan, its political and administrative system, Rajasthan, its history, art and culture, literature, tradition and heritage. It also includes geography of Rajasthan, and it also includes economy of Rajasthan, Indian history, Indian constitution, political system and governance, geography of world and India. All these topics are included in RAS prelims syllabus students. Now let's look at the examination pattern of prelims examination. The duration will be of 3 hours. There will be 150 multiple choice questions. Total marks will be of 200 and marks that will be awarded will be 1 or 2. There is also a negative marking for every incorrect answer. 1 upon 3 marks will be deducted. Marks per unattempted question will be 0. So if you have not attempted any question, you will be given 0 for that particular question. MCQ will be related to general knowledge and general science subjects that we have already discussed in the previous slides, my dear students. Let's talk of RAS mains exam. Those who will qualify in the prelims will only be called for mains examination. RAS main exam will consist of questions from subject 4 papers, which will be descriptive and analytical. As we already know that in the preliminary examination, the paper is multiple choice questions. In the mains examination, paper is descriptive or analytical, and it will have 4 papers, and each paper will be of 3 hours each. Paper 1 will be of General Studies 1 and will have 200 marks. Paper 2 will be of 3 hours and the subject is General Studies 2 having 200 marks, students. Paper 3, again General Studies 3 of 3 hours having 200 marks. Paper 4 will be of language, General Hindi and General English consisting of 200 marks. Now let's have a look at the pattern of the mains paper. This is regarding paper 1. Now there are 3 sections and there will be different number of questions in all the sections. Section A will have 25 questions, Section B will have 14, Section C will have 9 questions and making it a total of 48 questions. Marks awarded, total marks will be 40 marks for Section A, Section B 70 marks, Section C 90 marks, and total the marks would be 200, my dear students. Now if you have cleared the RAS mains exam and preliminary examination, you will be called for personal interview. Now the personal interview will also have a personality test and other criteria that you will be marked upon. The interview usually have a panel of interviewers having judges and other important officers. The marks for the interview is assigned 100. Now let's have a look. These are the recent RAS officers, those who have cleared their examination. Bhavani Singh Charan and Sachin Yadav. If you want to know more about them, you can search and have their interview videos on YouTube. Let's proceed. Now, before we begin with the second important services, I will also like to tell you that when you appear for RAS examination, you are also qualified for RPS. It also helps you to have a seat in RPS. Now let's proceed with RFS, that is Rajasthan Forest Services. The candidates who are recruited get the post of a forest officer and are responsible to manage the forest and its respective areas. They also take care of the forest and its products wherever they are posted. ACF and FRO stands for Assistant Conservator of Forest and Forest Range Officer. Now, students, as you can see, the minimum age here is 18 years and the maximum age is 40 years. Age relaxation for some categories is also applicable as per the rules. So now for general category, the rules are 18 years and maximum age is 40 years. Now let's talk of the eligibility, my dear students. Eligibility must says that bachelor's degree with at least one of the subjects from animal husbandry, veterinary science, botany, chemistry, computer application, science, environmental science, horticulture, geology, mathematics, physics, statistics, and zoology, or a bachelor's degree in agriculture or forestry. At least one of the subject is mandatory, plus working knowledge of Hindi written in Devanagari script and knowledge of Rajasthani culture is very must, my dear students. As I already told you, whether you sit for RAS, RFS, RJS, knowledge of Hindi written in Devanagari script and knowledge of Rajasthani culture is very must. Let's proceed further. Talking about the paper pattern, language it can be written is Hindi or English. Section of papers. There will be 2 compulsory, 1 GK in English and 2 optional subjects that I will be talking about in the next slide has to be there. There will be only objective MCQ based questions. 3 hours for each paper, my dear students. And negative marking for every wrong answer is there. Rounds, there will be 2 written and there will be 2 rounds. First one would be written and second would be personality or viva voce. Plus there will be also physical for FRO officers grade 1. Let's talk of these subjects. So the compulsory subjects would include general knowledge consisting of 100 marks, general English consisting of 100 marks. And you also need to choose any 2 subjects out of the following: agriculture, botany, chemistry, computer applications, engineering. It could be in agriculture, chemical, civil, computer, electrical, electronics, mechanical, environmental science, forestry, geology, horticulture, mathematics, physics, statistics, veterinary science, zoology. And these 2 paper will be 200 marks each. That means 2 subjects of 400 marks total. Now let's see the pattern of the paper. The compulsory 1 paper will have 100 marks question consisting of total 100 marks. Compulsory 2 paper will consist of 100 total question, 100 total marks. Optional 1 paper will be of 200 questions with 200 marks. Optional 2 paper will also have 200 questions having 200 marks. So it becomes 600 questions with 600 total marks. And your personality or viva voce examination will be of 75 marks, my dear students. Now, students, let's talk of physical fitness standards. As I already told you, there will be a physical fitness test for grade 1 officers. So for male, 163 centimeter height is required. For female, 150 centimeter height is required. Chest girth is also mentioned, in which normal is 84 centimeter for male, and for female it is 79 centimeter. 5 centimeter expansion is required. Now there is also a walking test. Male candidates are required to pass a physical efficiency test, have to walk for a distance of 25 kilometers within 4 hours on foot. Female candidates must pass a physical efficiency test walking distance of 16 kilometers within 4 hours on foot. So here it is very mandatory for students to pass this examination. Now let's proceed to our last service, that is RJS, Rajasthan Judicial Service. Rajasthan High Court conducts Rajasthan Judicial Service competitive examination to recruit suitable candidates for the legal positions vacancies of civil judge. Law graduates who want to become civil judges can appear for this examination. This is very important to note here. Only law graduates can appear, my dear students, to make a note of. What is the eligibility criteria? The candidate must be an Indian citizen. No international aspirants can take this examination. One must have a citizenship of India. The minimum age criteria for candidates is 23 years and maximum age limit is 35 years. There is a relaxation of 5 years in the upper limit for SC, ST and OBC candidate students. Plus an additional criteria, a candidate must hold a Bachelor of Laws degree from any recognized law university. Proceeding next, there are again preliminary examination and the mains examination. Let's talk of preliminary examination. The preliminary examination of RJS is an objective type paper with 100 multiple choice questions. There will be 70 questions of law, 30 questions from Hindi and English. There will be 1 mark per question. Plus, the good news here is there will be no negative marking, my dear students. And the time provided will be 2 hours. The details of the main examination: law paper 1, that is of civil law, consisting 100 marks with 3 hours duration. Law paper 2, criminal law, 100 marks, 3 hour duration. And there will be Hindi essay 50 marks of 2 hours duration. English essay of 50 marks and 2 hours duration again. Now once you clear the preliminary and the main examination, you will be called for personal interview. The interview amounts for 35 marks. A typical interview involves questions based on various aspects such as personal and academic background, current affairs, general knowledge and legal knowledge. Marks are also awarded to a candidate based on his or her proficiency in Rajasthani dialect and his knowledge about Rajasthani social customs. Proceeding, here are 2 famous RJS, Saisha Chadha and Sonal Lalwani, who were the RJS toppers in 2019 itself. Let's talk of the most important aspect of this session: how you can prepare for RPSC exams to score good marks. What are the tips that you could follow and that you should keep in mind while preparing for these exams? First one is no RPSC exam patterns. Applicants should know the exam pattern of both prelims and mains, as both of these are very vital for the preparation. Also, applicants should note that the RPSC exam pattern is different for each of these services exam. The details we have already discussed in the previous slides. Revision and mock test is key, my dear student. Everyone has to do a quick revision. Applicants who want to know how to prepare for RPSC should keep in mind that revision is very, very important. By revising the concepts multiple times, one can easily recall the topic while appearing in exam. To perform well in the examination, one should regularly solve the online RPSC mock test at home. This practice will develop their confidence before they appear in the real-time exam. Make a disciplined study schedule. After knowing the syllabus and exam pattern, one should also prepare a daily schedule of study. By making a routine chart, applicants will be able to know what to prepare and how to prepare for the examinations. After making the daily schedule, one should allot the time to teach each section so that equal time can be devoted. After 1 hour of study, there has to be a gap to prepare for RPSC exam so that the mind can be rejuvenated. Now complete RPSC syllabus with standard books. One should read through the books prescribed by the examination itself. Read one book 10 times rather than reading 10 books one time. Aspirants who are planning to appear should believe in the above mentioned quote. After knowing the exam pattern and syllabus, the second important thing of RPSC preparation tips is from where we should read to complete the curriculum. It should be noted that applicants should only follow the authentic and limited books to cover the syllabus. Be healthy and hydrated is a very important tip again. While preparing for RPSC exams, one should not focus on exam pattern, topics and best books, but also be attentive to one's health. As we know that a healthy mind lives in a healthy body. Hence, one should remain calm, composed and hydrated. Then only they can take the maximum output of their efforts and qualify the RPSC exam with good rank. Study for the language paper as this is the most scoring paper. Now you should also take care of the language papers as they hold the maximum marks and they give you the maximum marks and they are quite very scoring. Keep track of current affairs. One should keep a regular track of what is happening in the world, around the city, around the state and in general the complete world. Try to make one-page notes for the topics. It is very, very important for the candidates who are appearing to make notes very carefully, very neatly for every topic. So at that point of examination, one just have to go through the notes, prepare for the revision. Be adaptive to online study. Students should also take help from online resources of study. There are various YouTube channels and mobile applications which help the students to prepare for RAS without coaching at home. Though, while taking the help from online material, candidate has to be alert. Also, because there is flood of information which might deviate from the focus. So these are some of the tips that you can keep in mind for preparing for RPSC exams. This will not only help you to prepare but also help you to score good rank. I hope the points are very much clear to you students. That's all for today's session. I hope you must have understood all the criteria, all the eligibilities and all the exam pattern. If there is still any confusion, you can let us know in the chat box. Thank you so much students. You can share, subscribe and like our channel. Thank you. Stay blessed.